Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm putting together a little tech tip slash how-to video on fixing the never-ending issue of rear main seal leaks that can occur in small block Fords. For any of you that have changed one of these before, you know what kind of a pain in the ass it is. You have to tear your transmission out, clutch or auto, depending on what you're running there, and just to get at this $12 seal. So fairly involved project to get at it, and you don't want to be changing these things all the time. So what I've done here is put together a little parts table for you on what I'm going to be using. So obviously need a new rear main seal. This is nothing more than a Ford Performance Parts rear main seal. Pretty standard, but the quote-unquote cheap insurance that I'm going to be using is behind here. It's these two fel-pro products. So what this is a, some people call it a micro seal. It's also referred to as a seal saver. This gets tapped onto the back of your crank, onto the crank journal. It has a very slight chamfer on it that actually matches up with the 45-degree chamfer on the back of your crank. So you put it in this little tool. This is also a fel-pro tool, and line it up nice and square and tap it onto place. So for those of you interested, the tool itself is a fel-pro 16301, and then the seal saver is a 16250. So I'll get you underneath the car with me here and show you how I install all of these. So hang tight. Okay, so please pardon the terrible lighting and low production value you get from this here, because obviously I'm laying underneath my car and don't have a lot of light or room to work. But so now, as I mentioned, I pointed out there's a 45-degree chamfer, just this slight chamfer all the way around the back of your crank journal here. And again, very difficult to see, but there's an ever so slight chamfer that's on this seal saver too. So you want to make sure you put that to the back so it mates up with this chamfer. Get it slightly started on there. Make sure it's nice and square. Get your tool and your hammer. Okay, let's see if we can do this now. Check every once in a while, make sure you're going on square. And you don't want to pound this on too far, right? You want to make sure that the chamfer on this seal saver mates up with the chamfer on your crank. So just a little bit further to go here. Almost there. And I'm not hitting this very hard, as you can probably tell. Okay, just about there. I'm not sure if you can hear that on the camera, but you can pretty much hear when it seats nice and flat. Perfect. barely even feel it on there now. So I'll try to give you a close-up view of it installed, again without giving you too many shadows. See how it's, you can, I mean, you'd almost have to have a really good trained eye to see that it's on there. So yeah, just nice and flush with the edge. Gives you a brand new race for that rear main seal to ride on. So I'll grab the rear main seal and show you how that goes into hands and pushed it in. So if this is your first rear main seal install, this is the way it should look as it goes on. The other side's kind of got a bit of a cavity in it, and that goes to the inside of the block. I've also just taken a slight amount of engine oil and just lubed up the outside edge of this so it slides on there easily. But anyway, to get that guy in there, again, I'm going to use that fel-pro seal saver tool and get him on there. Take my trusty hammer, slightly tap it in there. Check it out every once in a while, make sure it's going in nice and square. You don't want to get it hung up. Just want to make sure that it's flush with the block there. Again, this is a seal, so you don't want to beat the wheels off of it or anything. Just delicately get it in there. Almost there. Okay, in there like swimwear. So again, I'll give you a quick look at how this looks all done up. So as you can see, that rear main seal just nice and flat with the block. You can kind of see my seal saver on there too, ever so slightly. Again, pardon the light. But that's how it looks all put in the way that it should be. So. Okay, so just to sum things up, guys, installed that micro seal, installed a new rear main seal. Again, in case you missed it earlier, here's the fel-pro boxes and the part numbers. The seal saver is a 16250 and the installation tool is a 16301. So relatively easy install, right? I mean, the hardest part is just getting your transmission and clutch, and or if you got an auto, whatever, getting all that stuff out of there and out of the way so you can actually get at the rear main seal. But yeah, you can change it while your motor's in the car, right? You don't have to drop the pan or anything. One more thing I'll mention, I do have this other micro seal. Now, the difference between the fel-pro and these ones is, and full disclosure, I ordered this one first, not realizing that, well, at least from what I can figure out, this seal saver should be installed while the crank is out of the car. And the reason being is, you can see from this one, there is a raised lip. And the idea behind that raised lip is it gives you something to butt the tool up against and pound that onto your shaft. Now the idea behind this one is before you install it, you put a slight cut in this raised lip. And once you have this seal saver pounded on and put into place, you take a set of needle nose pliers and you roll this raised lip off. There's actually like a really small groove that allows this whole lip piece to come off. Almost put this in my car. Again, full disclosure. And the trouble behind that is you don't have enough room, as you can see. I mean, you've only got essentially the depth of a rear main seal to get this edge off. So from what I can tell, this guy is more designed to be put on a car a crank while the motor and crank and everything's out of the car. So don't put this on. I can't imagine how hard, while it's in your car, I can't imagine how hard it would be to get one of these off and not screw that rear race of your crank up. So yeah, now these are a heck of a lot more economical. The Timken one, I think it was about 20 bucks. Comes with the installation tool. fel-pro gets you on both ends, right? You buy the micro seal and you got to buy their tool. But yeah, you can get them at any parts store. I mean, I got them at a local parts store here in Canada, Lordco. The most expensive part of the thing, usually the way it goes, it's the installation tool. But yeah, you can get them on Amazon and what have you too. So anyway, hope that helps some people. Feel free to comment below with any questions that you may have. I'll get back to you right away. Very active on here. So, or check me out on Instagram. I'm at 92LX5.0. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope this video finds you well. Take care.